Well, I did this as a favor, and this was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever.
I feel like he just called me a nigga.
He
For no
always
reason.
he always does that. Always
Yeah.
puts that race.
Yeah.
Always puts that race in
Like,
front of him.
it sounds, even when it's not, I mean, it's not a slur, but the way that he says it, it sounds like a slur. Like when he says Kamala's name or Joe's name, it sounds like a slur.
I'm super excited for this one. I'm not a political guy. You know, you gotta preface this with this, right? Always.
Yeah.
Not a political guy. Not really into the politics. I do know some of it. I do watch streamers and try to catch up as much as I can, but sometimes it feels like overload of information. But you know, I still kind of get the gist of it here and there. But
Are you a patriot?
am I a patriot?
Yeah. Are you patriotic?
Define what that means.
You're a cold-blooded American.
I'm American, right?
So you stand up for America.
I stand up for. I believe in America, not all of America, right?
Okay.
There's certain parts where I'm kind of iffy about, but overall, you know, I support America and believe, you know, this country can become a great country. Not to no pun intended here, right? Because we all view what America should be great at, and yeah, man. So I'm super excited to get into this one. First of all, how are you doing, and how have you been?
Been doing great, man. No complaints on my end. Everything is all good. Just living in this world that I was thrown into. So, you know,
Yeah. How do you feel?
What I will.
How do you feel about this, man? About getting into, because this is not really a realm I ever hear you. You know, I've heard comments from you here and there, but like, this is not really a realm that I hear you kind of explore. At least not with me.
Yeah. Yeah, just because, like, what could I say that perfectly explains what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this stuff just happens, and it's like, what can we do about it? You know what I mean? Besides hope for the best for us. Like, we're all selfish people. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't know. Like, I have my thoughts. I don't really say them out loud too often.
Yeah.
I don't like clashing with people all the time because, you know, no matter what you say, you're gonna clash with somebody.
Right.
So, and I feel like this has always been a touchy subject and will always be a touchy subject. So yeah, there's that. I do believe wholeheartedly that there are just way too many goofies in the space and they need to be out of here. But hey, you know, neither here nor there.
What? Okay, so where would you feel like you lean at most of the time? Are you leaning more right? Are you more centrist, or you kind of look at issue by issue? Like, how do you kind of approach, you know, the whole politic situation whenever you're dealing with it?
So politics wise, I'm very minority focused.
Yeah.
So the people that don't really get a strong chance at life, I like for them to have a chance. But there are a lot of people that don't want that to happen, you know?
Very true. Very true.
That's kind of where I am. Like, you know, I want everybody to strive, but I do feel like the minorities have it the worst. So let's, you know, build up. You know, let's not keep everyone down. And
Yeah.
keep the 1%ers in the 1%. That's another thing too. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
man.
entirely eat the rich, but forget those people. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, dude. No, I definitely get that. I'm very focused on that. I wouldn't say I'm more left than I am right. You know, I try to support things that I believe in. Sometimes it is issue by issue. You know, when it comes to whatever this whole wokeism, how they see the left today, it's like very liberal or very, you know, they like to put us in such a box where we're like too out there. But in reality, like for me personally, you know, I view things as I see them and I try to live in reality in it. And I've also experienced, you know, hardships even in this time, even in this moment. I also have experienced, you know, good things with people. But yeah, overall, I try to keep it. You know, issue by issue here. You know, because sometimes, not that I really agree with kind of conservative values. I think I clashed a lot with that, especially because in the Mexican culture where I grew up in, we tend to have very conservative values. You know, and we're hardworking. We try to keep, you know, the dollar at home. and that's kind of how they view it, you know.
Yeah. But isn't that just kind of hard to deal with, knowing that many conservatives don't want the Mexican people to be happy and safe?
Absolutely, absolutely,
It's pretty crazy, right?
absolutely.
I get
Another,
exactly what you mean by you look at it, case by case,
yeah.
subject by subject. That makes all the sense in the world.
It's also a funny thing that I've experienced where Mexicans, like my family members and other family members that I've met, come there's well, I don't know what this first generation comes over, and then all of a sudden, they're against the thing that even brought them to this country, and that's such a weird dynamic that I've seen before. Very weird. I don't know how that works. I'm not saying just because you're Mexican, just because you're black, just because you're this, just because you're that, you have to have, I'm sure there's actually been conversations about the just because you're a certain thing doesn't mean that you have to vote left. You don't always have to vote left. I heard that in spaces before, but I don't know. I'm not a loyalist either, but I'm also like, come on, came from immigrant parents, and now those immigrant parents are kind of like, I don't understand. It's all up there for me. But
I feel like it's just a critical time that we're living in right now, just in the age of information all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like years ago it was clearer to make a decision. Like they could say, "Oh, well, this person does this. I'm going to stand for this person." I feel like that was much easier back then due to the lack of information and communication. But now
Yeah.
where we're just getting it every second of the day, it's very much confusing.
It is very confusing, man. It's like, as for me, who got into the political realm later in life, I didn't, I was never focused on, nor have I ever voted, but that is something that I want to eventually do, because I just do feel it's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
now we got into this video though, which what we came for. Okay.
Yeah. So with this video, I've only seen clips here and there. I do have thoughts about this whole thing. I do have thoughts on both individuals on the screen here. Yeah, you know.
And we can definitely get into that.
Yeah.
And I'm also honestly excited to get into it. So let's just get started here, right?
Let's do it.
You're probably like, what the heck is going on here, huh?
What's going on here? What's going on?
Oh my God! Just the scenery. The scenery is just so crazy, bro.
Yeah, this blows. This freaking blows, man.
The scenery is just crazy, man. What the hell?
Yeah. And it's like
most important stream I've ever
3 months left.
Wow. And I want to say thank you for doing this. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Get some good ratings today.
We're gonna get some good ratings. Everyone thought this was gonna be fake today, but we proved them wrong. So.
You're right in the.
I really thought that. I really thought that they were not gonna do this, because Adin has done some stunts in the past before. I mean, I don't really look at Adin as such a reliable source of information, right. So to see this actually come to fruition is insane, dude. What do you think about that?
I mean, it just shows you that if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I don't know exactly who's on Aiden's team, but I'm pretty sure they worked hard to make this happen, and they kind of completed their mission.
But it makes sense, because a lot of like their side is kind of red pilled. They kind of view things a certain way. So I mean, it kind of makes sense this kind of lined up, But
yeah, and just with the entire social media age that we live in, and the streamers having the power that they have, it's like the president going to a radio station back in the day. Podcasts and streams are the new radio stations that political parties go to now.
That's a good point. That is a good point, man. Like, what do you think this is?
Like, so many people watch these streams and podcasts, and it's just from people of all ages. So it's like, hey, if I do this, maybe I could persuade this person to vote for me when it's time for them to vote for me. Or vote for my party when it's time for them to vote for my party.
This is a new avenue for Trump, right? Right now, he's just kind of doing all this shit right now and trying to get his name out.
He's a puppet right now. Somebody's pulling the strings, and he's just showing up and being at these places and making this stuff happen.
It's insane. It's insane, bro. Let's continue.
I don't think he's in his right mind right now. But yeah, we'll continue.
Wait. What do you mean?
He does not look well. Look at him, bro. He's not here.
He's just stressed out.
Not even that, bro. He's just not here. Like he's losing it.
You think so?
But I know so. But let's continue.
All right.
Mar-a-Lago, which I don't allow this to be ever done. So you're the first, just about.
Thank you.
And we'll have a little fun today.
do
my
it.
son Baron says hello. He's a great young guy, but he's a big fan of you.
See?
What's up, Baron?
See?
Baron's awesome. He's a great kid. Amazing.
And they're shouting out this boy.
Tall, good
Yeah.
student.
Yeah, he's very smart. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is.
I do want to first off, say this. Everyone in the chat, everyone in this room, everyone loves you, and I just want to say you're a true hero for this country, and I really appreciate you.
Holy shit!
And,
The glaze.
I'm really feeling
Crazy, right?
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me a hand. That's great.
So do you know what live
That's a
streaming
nasty
is on
handshake.
platforms?
More or less.
That
It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. It's the new wave. I'm gonna explain it to you, all right? So
Okay.
I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you this. So this is the live chat. So you already broke the website in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
you broke it. The chat wasn't working, but we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi in the chat, and W's mean it's good. W means win. Yeah. Yep. So they're putting W's and stuff. Yep. W Trump. All right. So yeah, everyone is just super
Oh,
thrilled.
you're gonna have big ratings today. I can see it.
Yeah, I want to.
So there is a lot of supporters for Trump these days, huh? Like even after the whole assassination attempt, there's like a whole massive support group, right? Even on Kick. Okay, Kick
Don't
makes
you
sense.
think it's hilarious how no matter what platform he's on, he always talks about the ratings?
Always.
Like, he doesn't say people or human beings or viewers. It's all ratings.
Yeah,
Does that not mean something to you?
it's important to him. That's what he bases the whole thing off, right? How much clout he has.
I don't know, man. People always want to be looked at as individuals, but when it comes to this man, they're just numbers.
Mhm.
Whether that's monetary wise or in this case, ratings wise.
Shit, dude.
Everybody's a number to him.
It's crazy. You think he's detached?
I don't think he was ever attached.
Really?
I think that's always been the case with this man.
So just a full-blown narcissist.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you just talked about how Adin was glazing him, but think about how he glazes himself every day. Every day.
It's crazy, right?
And look at what it's gotten him. He's been the president of the United States once.
He won
It
over
has the
people's.
potential to do it again,
People like that about him, that he's just like, speaks his mind or whatever. At least that's how they interpret it as.
That's their interpretation of it. But I think it's something deeper than that, of course. But we'll proceed.
I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Oh, good. Oh, you'd do much more.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
excited. I'm thrilled. Elon actually already he commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well,
with
Elon
you.
is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Really a fantastic person. Little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
yeah.
Rockets and tunnels and
Yeah.
everything. He's a fantastic guy.
He's great. So let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool? Let's have a good time. All right, well, the first thing is, the reason why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of people that are first-time voters watching today. And I
Here
want
we
to
go.
make it very clear to everybody that you're a human being, you're a great human being. And I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some oldsters, too, because I also know some oldsters that are listening and watching. But it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have a country that's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago we're having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way. And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can make the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible. Right?
I'm trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll
Oh
love your
my
life.
God, bro! This guy glazes him so hard.
Oh,
He glazes him so hard, bro. Oh my God! It's like
this is hard to watch, man. Because golly, because people look up to this man, right?
yeah,
And to see how he acts when other people are in the room, like every time, I shouldn't be shocked, but I get shocked because it's just like this is part of the whole facade. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have a guest on, and I'm gonna make sure that my audience thinks that they're the best thing since sliced cheese, and I'm just gonna ride this whole thing down, you know.
it's marketing,
And then
bro.
of course profit off of it. You know, I think that's a whole nother thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that every second that counts down, he's just counting down how much money he's making off of the stream.
Absolutely, absolutely. More for his campaign.
And you'll be successful. And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. He was. We had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And they sort of what they did. It was really a coup of somebody. He had 14 million votes. He had it, and all of a sudden they went to him and they said, "We don't want you running anymore." And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. Here, you're focused on this one man, and all of a sudden you're fighting somebody else. But she's actually
look at the way he like twists it. Is that even true that they?
He comes up with these scenarios and he just keeps repeating them until he thinks that they're true.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know about the entire situation, like we were there, we saw it, But him, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but his fans, I'll say, they sure have a way of twisting the narrative.
Absolutely. That's
No
the whole
matter
game.
what. They can twist the narrative. They can repeat it. They use repetition, and then they want that to be fact, which is false.
It's the whole game, man. Twist the narrative.
Than he is,
unfortunately,
and you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that it's going to be very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
I have another question, and again, Mr. President,
pause it real quick.
Really fully into politics, but
Lex, you are how old again?
26.
All right, so you've been on this earth for 26 years.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you're living the American dream?
Not necessarily. No. I mean,
do you think that if this man becomes president, do you think that in 4 years you'll be living the American dream?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Okay. I agree.
There's no way.
I just wanted to temperature check.
There's no guarantee of that, bro.
Right.
But what?
I'm just gonna say, like, isn't it crazy how that's just like his selling point? Is the American dream this fictional phrase?
Yeah.
that's never like really a true thing for most of America.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy how people in other countries are living the quote unquote fictionalized American dream, but people here aren't. That's it.
It's hard, man. It's hard. You really got to build yourself here. You really got to work hard to get there. And not even if you work hard enough, you still might not even get there. And that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it,
And isn't that a little bit depressing though?
It is depressing and it sucks, know.
You can work as hard as you can for an entire year and enjoy 14 days of vacation.
Crazy.
That's the American dream. That's what people want. Time is the one thing we won't get back. We can get money back,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just time is something that we can't get back. And how are we to enjoy said time under this American dream that's sold to us all?
What is the American dream?
That's what I do not know.
What is the American?
This has been a thing for so long, but we have no idea of what it is.
I feel like it's just left up to interpretation. Like whatever you think the American dream is, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
It's
I
crazy.
don't know. Yeah, but that's where we are with it, man. It's just hang on, I just want to see.
Yeah, dude. So I don't
I'm
know.
just doing some research.
Go for it. I think right now in this moment we're whenever you go to the grocery store, things are high right now. Rent is high right now. The economy is bad right now. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the amount of money that we're getting is just, insufficient. Even if you're working 40 hours a week, it's
It's
still
never enough.
difficult. It's never
Yeah,
enough.
never enough. So, the American Dream definition here by Oxford: the ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to any American, allowing the highest aspirations and goals to be achieved.
Shit.
Does that not sound like a bunch of bullshit?
I know, bro. I know. I know, man.
Oh,
Shit, dude, and it's
yeah.
super crazy. It's super crazy right now.
Hmm.
Oh my god, it's so crazy.
Like, I don't know
You
any
know,
family members, or ancestors that truly live the American dream, you know? So, what is truly this great America that everyone speaks of? Like, I was there in 2008 during the recession. I wasn't there for the Great Depression, but I'm pretty sure people weren't saying that they were living the American dream then. Like, it's never been easy. Some people have had it easy, of course, the one percenters and such, but, you know, the majority of the people here, yeah, no.
No, it's difficult, man. It's difficult.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, we'll continue.
I'm getting there, and I do want to make this very clear as well. Now that it's on my mind, back when I was I went to high school in California, okay, and a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things, and the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have teachers, discuss politics in school, but it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers. And you're a kid. When you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge.
That's true.
So I want to know what your thoughts on that. Kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like the term liberal. You're not allowed to use that anymore. So
Wow.
usually- But this liberal way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country. We want to have borders. We want to have low taxes. We want to have great schools, really, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves
Of course.
from some bad players. You got some bad players out there. And, it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we're going to have wars. And just the opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
Big nuclear presence. I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated them in a very short
Before he gets into that, I feel like that teacher thing. I do agree that maybe politics shouldn't be represented so much in the school system.
But it's a
But
part of history. It's a part of history. Politics are history, you know? And the
right.
fact that, even people in their own camps are, disallowing the conversation behind other pieces of history. I mean, it's a big contradiction. Let's not talk about politics, but let's remove this stuff from history so that we can kind of shape a narrative and brainwash, in a way, the younger generation, just due to that lack of information.
Are they trying to remove like certain parts of history and the school systems right now? I think they want to take
Yeah.
away
Yeah,
like
they're literally banning conversations about certain topics and taking certain subjects out of books. That's what we're experiencing.
it's
Like,
crazy.
I mean, bro, we were not taught about the Black Panthers in school. Why were we not taught about the Black Panthers in school? You know, that was a huge event that was happening in the country, and we were not taught it. Even as someone that graduated high school in the South, was not really taught about the Black Panther. Everything I knew about the Black Panthers was outside of school. You know, I didn't know who Fred Hampton was. I didn't know what he stood for. Had no idea. And then a lot of people didn't know until, the movie came out. Judas and the Black Messiah. They still didn't know. So is that not crazy to you?
Yeah, it is crazy,
But
bro.
I know who the fuck Ulysses S. Grant is.
Ulysses S.
Like,
Grant.
bro, like, it's that's what it is, man. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I can't imagine, especially my children are gonna start school and all that. I feel like there's gonna have to have conversations outside that it's gonna have to teach them a little bit more, a little bit more what they just tell you in the textbooks. A little bit more history there.
And who's gonna be there to give them those conversations when their parents are having to work, 8, 10, 12 hours a day
To survive, right? To survive.
Yeah, so who has the time to teach the kids this stuff?
It's hard, man. It's super difficult.
It's like if they're not learning in school, they're learning on the internet. And we've both seen the positives and negatives of both.
Especially with this red pill movement, all these kids are loving that for some reason, this machismo.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I remember
very quickly. And we had no wars under the Trump administration, and that's a great thing. That's a really great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before we even get there. That's the problem. We have a number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. We have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness, because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock market crashes or depressions or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military danger. We have Israel's blowing up, the Middle East is blowing up, Russia's going wild with Ukraine, and things are out of control, and we have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching when Russia...
But wasn't Biden one of those people who got us out of Afghanistan? Like, that's one of the first things that he did.
Yep.
Although, I mean, it wasn't the best... you remember hearing stories about they were trying to cling on to the helicopter. They left a bunch of military equipment there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he still got us out of there.
Yep.
Although then we went into the Ukraine and all that shit.
Yeah.
And we're trying to help over there.
And bro, that's another whole topic too. Because what is that shit doing for us?
I have no idea.
We're supposed to be living this so-called American dream, but every other sentence that comes out of their mouth is Ukraine, Russia, all
Gaza.
these other countries. Yeah, what is that doing to us? What is that doing for us?
I have no idea. I don't have enough research.
What do they want that to do for us?
I would say help us here first before we get into foreign affairs. Although,
my exact point.
Although they kind of want to have I don't know. I don't even know, right? I would have to research more. I don't want to talk out of my ass, especially when it comes to the whole Gaza and all that shit that's going on in Ukraine, because it is crazy. And I know America is one of those people. We try to help. We try to involve ourselves and shit like that. But I would say some of those resources could be beneficial to, America. That would be nice. That would be nice. But it is what it is, I guess.
Going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't. But they never. After I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes, and Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong, and ultimately they attacked. And they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So we got to get back in and get it straightened out.
Definitely.
We'll get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You had mentioned the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth. What I just saw yesterday and the day before, I'm in crypto and I'm in stocks myself, and I couldn't believe what's going on. You have Japan, you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running? And, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because He just wants to stay in bed all day. He can't get up. He wants to stay in bed. No, it was a fraud. They tried
Shots
to tell
taken.
people he was competent. He knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years, too. You know, he campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign. I said, where is this guy doing COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, Adin, 20 million people came into our country with open borders, and many come from prisons. And you can be a liberal, and your people can be, but coming from some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world, from the Congo and Africa.
See, I don't know if is that even necessarily true? They're coming from prisons. I like how he likes to wait, what?
He uses these terms to strike fear into people.
Yeah, they're coming from prisons, they're criminals.
It's all a fear tactic. Yeah, it's all a fear tactic. That's all it is. Well, let me talk about these bad things or things that people deem as bad and strike fear into them and,
yeah,
take advantage of everybody. That's basically what he's doing.
Although I am hearing that in New York that there's so many, I don't know if there are immigrants going there or some shit like that, or in the East. Is there a lot of people in the East Coast, migrating over there?
I mean, it's always kind of been the case, right? I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto 4. Nico Bellic catching a ride on the boat to go to New York to live the American dream, And I don't know many immigrants, but I always think about that story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how I assume people in other countries look at us, like the bright, shiny, decorated piece of crap, and they're like, I want some of that instead of what I have now,
They'll fight for it,
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again.
They will. They want a better life, and I don't know too much of what's going on over there or what they're doing. Something about they're giving hotels to them, resources to them.
Meanwhile, we have homeless here.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Unemployment is still not great.
Unemployment became so bad after COVID. It got so bad. Had a situation with a family member trying to get unemployment. Impossible. And it's crazy, man. They really try to hunker down on having reliefs for individuals out there, making it really, really hard these days.
Yeah, on the American citizens of all people.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I'm not somebody like who's against people coming from different countries and trying to, because my family came from Mexico and not in illegal ways, right? Mm-hmm. But they ended up working hard. They ended up doing what they could do, and not necessarily do I agree with the whole aspect of how they live, because some of it was a little bit toxic and regressive, But at the end of the day, they came over here, worked hard, and tried to build something for themselves. And not every person that's coming from different countries. I mean, at least for myself, when I speak about like the Mexican culture, like not everybody's a rapist, or not everybody's a fucking whatever it might be, right? It's just the fear, and maybe there could be better ways to make it easier, make it. Right. I don't know what there could be, but it's insane.
There's got to be a way somehow, right?
Absolutely, a way to make it more accessible, a little bit, because once you come into this country and you're Mexican, a lot of experiences that I've had is that when they try to get citizenship here, it's not definitely an easy task. They have to go through so many hurdles, pay a bunch of lawyers. There's called immigration lawyers, and
months, years.
There's actually been cases where they said that they need to go back to Mexico and serve jail time for coming into this country illegally. So it's just a lot of hoops and all this bullshit, But it's super difficult, man. I sympathize with those people. Some of my friends did not have visas to come over here. or their visas expired, and they grew up here, but they were born in Mexico. So I see a whole different light than most people might,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sorry, that was long winded, but
Nah, that's all good.
A
really good insight,
Definitely.
They come.
And it's not like we
all over the
have,
world they're coming.
one of these two giving that story. You're actually, Mexican American giving that story. So
yeah.
And they're releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you
Right
can be
after that.
progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing.
No.
They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States, and they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime. And it's going to take on proportions the likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions, prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in. So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but a young audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken, a lot of crime. Fix that issue. What if I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's what we want. We want people to come in, but they have to come in through a system, through a legal system. And one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem getting in. I don't even know why they're doing this, but some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied, they learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really rough places, really bad places, and they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people. And they're pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in. Wow. They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release them into our country. I said, no.
So to him, they're automatically criminals because they're passing the border, right? That's kind of how he sees it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how he's wording it.
That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. And caravans and shit like that, like, oh my god. And
criminals, prisoners, all these words he's using.
I'll tell you what, I started the video talking about like how some of these people that come from Mexico end up building up a life and then start voting for Trump. Start voting for the things that are against how they even got here in the first place. So, sometimes we end up gaining. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they fall for the bullshit or rhetoric he gives them or whatever about how the money or whatever. I don't know exactly what it is, but they end up falling for that bullshit, and then now they're voting for a president that's gonna stop what they even did to get into this country. It's so like you don't understand how frustrating it is to like have conversations sometimes with some Mexican people, or Mexican.
And even seeing it firsthand, I'm pretty sure it's super stressful.
For real, dude. Have you experienced that in any form in your life, or
Absolutely, man. I mean, think about the amount of Black people that are like, oh, he did this for us. He did this for us. He gave me a check, and I'm gonna keep
stimulus,
voting.
right?
Not the way to think. That's not the way to think.
Yeah.
Like, that money came, but where's it now? What did it do?
It's not enough. I don't think it's difficult. It's difficult, man.
Mm-hmm.
We catch a criminal and we release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's one of those things. There's so
this
many
guy,
things.
Bro.
They are so bad. It's like amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right. Do you
destroy?
What do you think about
destroy? A lot of those immigrants came into this country and built a lot of this. I hate that. Oh.
But you see, that's exactly what I was looking at. He's looking at it as heroes and villains. That's his story. That
Hate
is the
that
story.
shit, bro. I hate that.
What's going on in Venezuela, the whole situation out there.
Well, I know it very well, and Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. They're in our country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer
down.
than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into all of our cities.
Yeah.
And I'm kidding.
I know.
The reason I have to say that, because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela. They are so bad, it's hard to believe. But anyway, so Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminal elements, which are large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities. And they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so. No. I don't think they're thrilled. I don't think so. So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview. Okay. It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly, what they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Adin. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not smart. No. And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she is... Look,
what do you think about like the whole immigration stuff? Like people coming into this country, like what's your thoughts on that?
I think everyone wants better for themselves,
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And I'm sure there are immigrants that think that this is the only way. They've exhausted all of their options and they say, hey, I've seen this work. I'm going to give this a try. So I get exactly why they decide to make that move. Does that entirely make them a criminal? Do I think that makes them a villain and they're here for malicious reasons? I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Disagree.
Yeah, I do too, man. It's just crazy. The way they freaking paint the picture to put the fear in Americans, especially, the whites, right?
Yeah. It's all for control.
Yeah, it's a crazy. Would love to see like real statistics on how would they even like know who is a criminal and who is, you know what I mean? Like, where are they even getting these numbers? Where are they even getting these numbers?
And that's where the fear comes in because they're afraid. So if they're afraid, why not strike fear in everyone else?
Bullshit.
She couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who we have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra-left, ultra-radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General of California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco was the best city in our country 20 years ago, and now it's, not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're going to have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar homes that do what I do, content, they're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really, they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened. It's crazy.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500, where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if they get nabbed, they say, no, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000. Right. And she started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. our country, we need strong leadership.
Talking about Kamala,
We
right?
didn't have stuff like this.
Yeah, he can't really stay on one
When
topic.
you look at what's happened to this country and you look at other countries, crime rates all over the world are down. You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only the people on the streets, the people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America. And our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof. And, if we win, and I hope we win, we should win, we seem to be winning. And, you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals. So they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable, and they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were let. But if they do their job,
let's talk about the fact that the police and the brutality that they've shown, the incompetences that they've shown, the police system, taking advantage of their so-called jobs. You know what I mean? Like, it's what was the whole thing that just happened not long ago where the lady got shot?
Tanya Massey.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That should have never happened.
You know what I'm saying?
That should have never happened, man.
It's
Just the
insane.
fact that policeman was,
Unhinged.
the fact that, I don't know, man. It's a hard subject because I remember waking up and that was the first thing I saw,
Yeah.
and it just fills me with so much rage that actually happened, and then even the aftermath of it filled me with even more rage, with them not telling her family the entire story and the whole the body cam debacle. The fact that he was able to do that, didn't even have his body cam on. He
turned that
he
right
went into
off.
that lady's he went into her home, and there's no way to actually see what happened because the other officer stepped away. Like, how crazy is that?
It's crazy, dude.
And they're talking about Apple stores getting robbed. People that are low and middle class get robbed on the daily, and that's not even a part of this discussion.
Bad, bro. Bad.
Yeah, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
Crazy, bro.
they have their pension knocked out. They have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away. Everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job. We're going to have to let them
Think about
do
the
their
people
job.
that aren't
We have
fucking
a
policemen. There are everyday people that lose their jobs and can't afford this and they can't afford that, and losing their houses and losing their homes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, their vehicles and stuff. Like, I get what you're saying about the police, but I mean, they're ordinary people, working people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of these big companies are cutting down, right?
Yeah,
I'm not sure
absolutely.
exactly, but I've been hearing like there's been a lot of layoffs lately.
Across the board.
Yeah. I shit. We have Amazon, right? Amazon's one of those big.
Amazon did layoffs. I mean, I hate to talk about video games again, but video game companies are shutting down and laying people off.
Left and right, right? Left and right.
I know in my area, I'm not sure about yours, but there are a bunch of restaurants that are going under.
Really?
And they're just shutting down. So
it's just it's so bad right now, man. It's so bad. Fuck.
Yep.
Infested nation. We're a drug addicted nation, and we're a crime infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some bad shit happening, but if we didn't have that bad shit happening, we're doing okay. Like, bro, what are you saying here, man?
I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi, hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart. And I think you handled it pretty well, but I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think, like, they just straight up do that for you, but then they're going to ask the other side, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, no. Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever.
I feel like he just called me a nigga.
He
for no
always
reason.
he always does that. Always
Yeah.
puts that race.
Yeah.
Always puts that race in
Like,
front of him.
it sounds, even when it's not, I mean, it's not a slur, but the way that he says it, it sounds like a slur. Like when he says Kamala's name or Joe's name, it sounds like a slur. You know?
He was like, "Oh, I met her as an Indian person." You know what I mean? Questioning her.
Became black. Yeah.
So in your face, bro. So
He's
in
such a weirdo.
and-
He's
and,
so
uh,
freaking weird.
and there's black Americans gonna vote for him, right? That's like a whole thing. Like,
I mean, there's blacks for Trump.
yeah, that's what I'm
And there
saying.
are white people around this country wearing those shirts that say blacks for Trump. So look at where this stuff, look at where we are, man.
A lot of rappers,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So supporting him. A lot of rappers.
Yeah.
Didn't Sway Lee just come out and say, "Don't vote for Kamala Harris"?
Bro, who, to quote Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest comedians of all time, who the fuck cares about what Sway Lee has to say at a time like this? Like, of all people, bro, I'm not looking to hear from Sway Lee about politics, of all things.
Bruh.
Not doing that.
Freaking Sway Lee. Sway
Yeah,
fucking
just say you
Lee.
want to check, buddy. Just say you want to check.
Amber Rose. I think she's going for Trump right now as well. Like, it's crazy right now.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother topic there.
It's
A whole nother topic.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying, "Hello, thank you very much for doing this," they also said, "Kamala's going to do it." But then Kamala said, she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. You know, she's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it. But I walk in, and this woman starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, "You didn't even say hello to me." And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this out of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across, you know, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation.
Look at just how they just started throwing their signs up.
They probably told
well
them.
handled. The woman.
Yeah, somebody's behind the camera
so
like
rude.
racist signs.
So rude.
That, you know, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a thing, and I do them a favor, and I do this. Most people said, "Why are you doing it?" I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look you become the president for all of the people,
Right.
not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for just my, you know, they talk about my base, it's a very big base. But you become president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, "Man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like you need these next 4 years. If not, He's like, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything, you know, all men are created equal, as the expression goes, right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are
Yeah.
created equal. When
Yeah.
they wrote that, it was a slightly different time. Today, it's that alone is a politically incorrect
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So all men and
It
women
is.
are created equal, everything. But the fact is, when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug
Oh my
dealers,
God.
all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country.
I hate how he just he compiles
never,
it.
Yeah, it's never just one thing.
He
One thing
compiles
and then
it.
another. Then he's crapping on somebody. Then he's talking about criminals, and yeah.
Also,
it's word vomiting, man. It's just anxiety inducing.
isn't he? Did they charge him with something? Isn't he like some sort of? They're like trying to process him.
He's a convicted felon, man.
And he's running for president. They're allowing that. Can't felons not vote? Isn't that a thing they lose?
I believe they do lose their right to vote.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is going on, brother?
It has to be. We have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh.
Love it, right? They love it.
I didn't know they were allowed to.
Yeah, they were definitely. There's somebody with a sign
right?
behind the camera. Just
it is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates. Be able to buy a house. You want to, so many different things. But you got to have common sense. And we're run by people. And just a little thing. When I started campaigning, almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back. Yeah.
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Every one of my Jewish friends say, we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry Christmas.
Good. And Kamala doesn't, though.
She doesn't like it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work on her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense, someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed out, or do you think he made the decision to step down?
No, he was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
It was horrible.
Okay.
I do gotta say, Biden doesn't seem like in the right space, at all. Like they were showing.
Neither does Donald Trump.
They were showing. They were showing. Yeah, they were showing me. I was looking at like a 10-year or 12-year clip before he used to talk, and versus now. It is kind of like crazy to see that, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's 12 years.
It is a long time.
The latter end of someone's life. Like, look at what 12 years does to a baby. So imagine that time with someone that's older and that's been living for a long time. Like,
yeah,
it's different. It's 12 years.
And that job must be so intense.
Taxing, yeah.
So intense.
They're here, they're there, they're doing this, they're signing that. Like, it's every day.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible. Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, they said, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible.
Right.
They never gave. They took away the great debate performance stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I mean, I did fine, and he is. He shouldn't have. Look, he's done tremendous damage to our country. He was a terrible president. He was the worst president we've ever had. She's, by the way, considered the most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's she's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her, and I think he's a really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is. But she was convenient. She was there. They have better people. I mean, they have much better. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were people that were thinking about running. They would have run, except that they didn't want to go through this roadblock with her, and because you're the vice president. So they wanted to go pick them, and I think virtually every one of them is considered better, smarter, would be a better president than her. But we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
She'll ruin it. I mean, already. It's ridiculous what she's saying.
And by the way, the youth is so important because youth tends to be Democrat, and as they get older, they become Republican. It's what's happening. We can't wait 50 years. We can't. Make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them. All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I said, don't tell me that. But make the move now.
Man, what a crazy stream, right? What a crazy stream. His whole rhetoric, right? setting the tone for his. I mean, but he's been saying this type of shit.
Yeah, we're not new to this stuff. It's just crazy how it just continues to be a topic. You know,
I don't know.
He won and it was still a topic. He lost, it's a topic. Now he's trying to win again and it's still a topic. Like when is the actual change gonna happen?
Yeah, we'll have to see, man.
When will everyone achieve the American dream?
Hopefully Kamala gets it. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. Donald Trump also has a big support base, right? So, oh no, this next 4 years is gonna be.
It's gonna be insufferable. These next few months are gonna be insufferable.
I know, man. I when is the whole thing gonna happen? You said 4 months from now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit less than 3 months, and our lives could possibly change forever. You know, with the criminals and immigrants. You know, that day.
We're letting the criminals, the immigrants, the drug lords into this country.
And they're costing us billions of dollars.
Billions. Terrible.
So
just terrible. Hey, Ross, man.
I mean, like I said, man, it's like this stuff is the new radio stations. It's the new big platform. It's the new big TV. You know, talk show TV. That's what it is.
I'm just surprised he did this.
I know that there are thousands of people watching this live. Let me just go here and talk about whatever I want to talk about.
Crazy, bro.
Let's create a big viral moment. Let's get eyes on this.
Fuck, dude. This is going to be crazy, right? But yeah, man.
What do we do?
Besides, we do? Go vote. Just fight for what you believe in, I think.
Yep. Exercise your rights, because you never know how long it's going to be until you don't have them anymore.
I'm definitely not a Trumper, though. Definitely not. But with that, you know, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to go check out my as much as you could have enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
I hope you go check out my boy, the Dom Trap, and his podcast. And I mean, that's about it, guys. See ya.
See y'all later. Peace.